Autumn is right around the corner, so we wanted to share a list of some must-visit spots in Japan to see the beautiful brown and red leaves.
Yes, oh my gosh, I love autumn. It's my favorite time of year. And coming from Australia, I never really had those kind of bright reds and oranges. So yeah, it's really nice to be here in autumn. Perfect temperature.
Yes.
Go out and see a lot of foliage.
Yes, and not a lot of rain. It's always clear sunny days. Crisp, fresh air.
I'm so excited.
It's still summer here.
It's still so warm.
Yes. But autumn is one of the most popular times of year for tourists to visit Japan, and we're gonna dig and figure out why, because there's so much to see.
I'll start digging.
All right.
Would you like to begin?
Okay, so when it comes to autumn, I feel like, maybe I will start with Kyoto.
Yeah, okay, go for it. Here we go.
Okay, autumn in Japan is synonymous with Kyoto, because Kyoto is awesome, always, in every season. But there are so many red leaf spots, and I feel like you've been there with me. It's just insane though. So, okay, side note, it is crazy packed.
It's really rough.
There are so many people. Every single person on the planet of they're going there. So keep that in mind if you do want to go. But if you do end up finding yourself in Kyoto, there are red leaves everywhere. Like you're walking down the street, you're like red leaf. But then if you go to some temples, you will find red leaves that are lit up. That's something that I didn't realize was a thing. They have nighttime illuminations. And a place you can do that is Kodaiji, and it's right actually in the middle of one of the Kyoto touristy areas where there's Kiyomizu and there's the Ninenzaka. My actual favorite in Kyoto is called Enkoji, and don't cycle there. I've done that. It's like a massive hill.
Oh God.
You haven't been?
I don't think I've been.
It's a really beautiful temple that is at the back end of Kyoto. If you go to Demachi Yanagi, you kind of go up this hill that way. That does not describe anything. And it's so popular that you might even need to reserve it. So if there's places you want to go in Kyoto, make sure you don't have to reserve. Okay. Another really popular one is Kiyomizu-dera, which was so packed. I went there last year and it was so stressful. I felt like I was being suffocated.
So many people. But I will say, while I was there, I went to the Imperial Palace and I actually was surprised how few people there were and how beautiful the foliage was. There was a super massive ginkgo tree that was just the best.
I saw that photo, yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? And the few people were taking photos, but really barely anyone was there. So I would say if you're I want to see autumn leaves, but I don't want to go through all the crowded business, you could try the Imperial Palace and see how you feel. Because they also have that really good tea shop there. I want to go for Ishikawa, Kanazawa. Do you remember when we went?
Yes.
So good. There's a place called Kendokuen, and in the evening, it was free, wasn't it?
I believe
so. It was free. We went to this free light up.
Did we line up? I think we lined up.
We lined up, but then we all got in at the same time.
That's right, yeah.
There were a lot of people, but the trees are held up by these poles to make sure that the snow doesn't weigh them down and break the branches.
Yep.
And so it was really beautiful. They looked like giant ghostly Christmas trees. But then also around that was heaps of autumn leaves.
Yeah, I feel like I remember the lantern so much that the autumn leaves. Or the second show. No, that was awesome. I was pleasantly surprised. And Kanazawa was similar to Kyoto, where it's got the traditional cobble stone streets, and you got all the river, and there was all the autumn leaves along that.
Yeah,
so beautiful.
I reckon, Kanazawa, really, really great spot for autumn foliage.
Awesome recommendation. One thing I actually want to bring up is that because Japan has different climates across the country, some areas get autumn leaves faster and some later. True. So if you're up north where it gets cold, like Tohoku, you'll get the autumn leaves sooner. But if you're in Kyushu, it'll be a bit later because it's warm, right?
Yeah.
So if you're traveling to Japan and you're like, oh, I might not make it, well, don't worry, just trying to shift where you're going.
Yeah, that's true. So speaking of colder, I want to bring up another place, Hokkaido.
What?
Autumn leaves?
Have you been?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know.
I went to a bunch of places in the summer around Sapporo, and I was like, damn, this is super nice. What does it look like in autumn? And I looked it up, and it's so beautiful. Maruyama Koen as well in Sapporo. I looked it up, really nice. Also, another park in Sapporo is Nakajima Koen, also really good, and looks like it had great things for autumn.
Okay, that's really cool. I feel like probably not a lot of people get to go to Hokkaido in the autumn because it's either summer or winter.
Yeah.
So it must be really chill and less people.
I feel like that's the case. And I guess if you come earlier, in October, and you're like, it's still too hot down here in Tokyo, let me just come to Hokkaido, enjoy a little bit of autumn foliage.
確かに.
Yeah.
Tokyo, for me, was a place where I was like, there's nothing to see for autumn leaves. I was so wrong.
You're wrong.
Yes, I absolutely love the Jingu Gaenmaya, which has all the ginkgo trees like lined up, which they're actually trying to tear down now.
Insane.
Makes me so mad.
So stupid.
It is the most beautiful,
Don't do that.
like, city autumn leaf combination ever, and it is highly popular. You got to get there at like 7 a.m. to actually enjoy it.
I can't believe they're talking about taking it down.
But if you get the chance, go this year, next year if it's still there.
Oh my god.
But it's amazing, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, there can be a lot of people, but if you just go on a weekday, it's just, it's gorgeous. Just, there's such bright colored trees.
Yellow, orange, and the leaves fall down, and it's honestly so beautiful.
It's so nice.
And you don't even have to travel out of Tokyo.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, have you been to Shinjuku Gyoen in the autumn?
I haven't been in the autumn. I only went in the spring and summer.
Okay, well, give that one like a go in your list. Yeah, I have a year pass, so I'm always just
that's crazy. Whenever I remember that you have a year pass to Shinjuku Gyoen.
It did expire like this month, so maybe I'll have to renew it.
Okay, I have 3 spots in Tokyo. Chofu, Jindaiji is the best. It's a little annoying to get to because you have to go to Chofu, so it's like and then you have to catch a bus. But it's you would love it.
Okay,
I can't believe you haven't been.
Add it to my list.
It's a very traditional Kyoto-esque little village area with a beautiful temple, botanical gardens. You can paint your own pottery. There's lots of soba and tempura and stuff. It's like a little hidden gem. But now it won't be because I posted it on social media.
What else did you have for Tokyo?
There is Kyushiba Rikyu Gardens in Hamamatsucho.
Oh, in Hamamatsucho, that was where I used to go all the time.
Well, the garden's really close to the station, like the JR station. They do a light up, an autumn light up. And it's really beautiful. You have to pay to get in because it's a very beautifully kept garden. But
could have gone after work back in the day.
Could have gone after work.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, and they do like art installations and stuff sometimes. But it's really beautiful, and you should check it out.
Nice.
There's another one. There's Kiba Park near Kiyosumi Shirakawa, and they have this really huge bridge, and it's just a nice park, and they have some autumn leaves there. That one's like a lower key one, but yeah, another mention.
Okay. If you do have time to go outside of Tokyo, though, there are a lot of like day trips or like one night weekend getaways. And one that I tried a couple of years back was Takao-san. Beautiful, but absolutely packed. And it was, rather than hiking, it was like, let's walk in a line behind each other.
Whoa, was it a weekend?
I think so, yeah. And I know this was way before the borders opened, so I can only imagine now how busy it is.
Yeah.
So although it's beautiful and you get on a clear day, because in the winter and the autumn, you can mainly see Mount Fuji.
I went last year in autumn and it was totally fine, but it was a weekday. So definitely weekday, if you can do it, is definitely better for crowds. Yeah, for sure.
But I think everyone wants to get out of Tokyo and do like a little hike because it's an easy hike. It's hardly hiking. It's like walking.
But it's so nice. You can catch the chairlift halfway up, and then there's little mochi stands all the way up eating dango.
Yeah, I did have a dango.
There's like noodles at the top. There's temples. It's really cute. I will say this one isn't autumn foliage, but Hitachi Seaside Park in the autumn has the kokia, the pink bushes.
That's great.
I'm sure that around that area there would be other autumn foliage because it's a huge park, but you can go and check out the pink, thousands of pink bushes.
I've seen them. Yeah, they look absolutely
really
gorgeous.
They're really cute.
Another thing that may stray a bit from like autumn spots, what about autumn food? I know we haven't like prepared anything, but there's like sweet potato, right?
Sweet potato, yakiimo. Yeah, that's the best. I still think about the yakiimo we had in
Kanazawa. Oh, no, Kanazawa.
Kawagoe.
Kawagoe,
yeah, with the custard and the brulee on top. That was nuts.
Yeah, so if you want, go to Kawagoe, which is in Saitama. Also a day trip out of Tokyo for some sweet potato because they have so much there.
I'm sure they must have good foliage as well. That's the thing, you're probably going to find some foliage anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Little hack, look around, there'll be trees.
Something that is on my bucket list that I saw once on the internet was like, maybe it was even you before I knew you. Like Osaka, momiji tempura.
Yeah.
Was that you? I was like, before I even knew Emma, I was like, that looks so good.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know why, it just like sounds so good. But I've heard it's flavorless.
Yeah, it's flavorless, but it was enjoyable. And it was they're so cute. Like little fried leaves in like the perfect little shape.
Okay, that was you.
Yeah, there was like an obachan making it and everything. We tried, we're like, yep, flavorless, but yum, you know, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to eat that.
Hilarious thing.
I know.
It was me before we knew each other.
I think coming out of summer, there's a lot of hot and warm food you can appreciate. Like, I don't know why, but hot matcha comes to mind.
That's true. Zenzai.
Zenzai, yeah.
Yeah, finally being able to switch from cold foods to hot foods, like hot bean soup, just any kind of hot soup is really nice.
Yeah. But there's a lot of like autumn themed snacks as well, like wagashi. They'll actually change the shape to like represent like the season, which they do every season, but like I feel like because it's I don't know, there's something about enjoying that in like
the colors and the warmth and the vibes. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, and onsen season comes up. So if you do come, like try and find a place, which just leads on to my next point, which is not food related, but Hakone. Hakone is an onsen koyo combination for people who like enjoy nice things in life.
I love Hakone. It's really easy access from Tokyo, and yeah, it's a bunch of stuff to do there. And yeah, nice foliage, nice onsen, nice temperature, nice vibes. Catch the romance car there.
Yeah, and the ropeway.
Oh, that's fun.
And also
the pirate ship.
Yes, the pirate ship. That was the weirdest thing ever, but it's amazing.
So bizarre.
Oh, yeah, like onsen, red leaves. Good
I'm
food.
so ready. I'm so ready.
It's luxury. Japan can be a luxury sometimes, you know?
I think a lot of the time.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
A lot of the time.
That's my favorite combo. The onsen season.
I know, I'm so excited. Also, I love seeing that the season is changing, not by the changing of the leaves, but by the changing of the drinks in the
That's actually my favorite thing ever as well.
It's so good, because for summer it's all cold, and then it's like,
it's like
hot
sudden.
soup.
What day is it? Like,
when is it gonna happen?
Is it mid-September, October?
I don't know what day they're gonna choose, but we should look. Every day I'm checking. I'm like,
same.
Now.
Sometimes we have chilly days, and I'm like, I just want a hot hojicha. That's all I want in my life. And then the vending machine is like just chugging out cold things.
I wore a sweater like a few days ago when
that typhoon
when the typhoon hit. I was like, sweater. I was so happy, and then I sweat in the sweater, and then I took it off.
I have friends who just turn the aircon on at home and blast it so they can wear like sweaters. I'm like, that's weird.
I get that though. I feel that. All the seasonal flavors and everything, and yeah, big fan. Even though oden isn't that great, when the oden thing comes out, I'm like, yay, it's the season.
I'm one of those people who loves summer, so I don't want to let go, but I'm also like, autumn leaves.
Yeah. So the last spot I have to recommend is Wakayama Koya-san.
That is.
Yeah, have you been? Did we go?
I have been, but I went in the winter, and I can just imagine.
I can't remember which trip I was on. It's all a blur. I can't remember anything.
I remember.
But I remember that you remember. But I remember the leaves, and they were insane. It was just a really, really beautiful and really fun railway and everything on the way up there. And lots of temples and traditional foods and kudzumochi, and it was just beautiful. So yeah, I recommend.
And there's a great hiking, the Kumano Kodo, right? I think you guys did it.
Yeah, we did a lot.
Yeah. I have one more that I would love to mention, and that is Shirakawa-go. I had the pleasure of going last year for a work trip, and although it's it can be expensive and difficult to access, it is so stunning. Oh my goodness, like this little town that is literally nestled in the mountains. You have all these like red leaves, and you have the farm, like the giant farmhouses.
You said farmhouses.
You have
the giant thumb.
No, there's giant squid. And what I recommend if you do go to Shirakawa-go, try and stay the night in one of the houses. And you have to book it a bit in advance, and it might cost more. Or if you don't, there's a hostel nearby. Stay there and walk to the town, because if you get there once all the tour buses arrive, which is like 9, 10 a.m., the place is like a different vibe. You got to get there in the morning, like go for an early walk and just enjoy it empty. When you come in autumn, you might be running, what kind of clothes should I bring? And to be honest, it's kind of one of those awkward in-between seasons where some days it's really warm, especially during the daytime.
Yeah.
You can get around with a t-shirt, but at nighttime it's freezing. So you're gonna need like maybe 1-2 layers. So bring like shirts, jeans, but then also jackets, because it can be chilly.
Yeah, it really depends exactly when you're coming, because I feel like in Tokyo, the peak fall time is the end of November, start of December these days. And so...
Same with Kyoto.
Yeah, and then it starts to get quite a bit chillier, but it's still, the sun is so bright here, the skies are so clear, it's just really
good weather.
Really good weather. But yeah, definitely bring some warmer clothes.
You can't wear this. You definitely need like at least jeans and like a jumper or something.
Yeah, but it's really not that bad. It's like just really comfortable temperatures usually.
Like you might not even need a beanie, like it's an option.
Yeah.
But you don't need a massive down jacket.
Yeah, but again, depends exactly when you're coming.
Yeah. And then just in terms of like also the leaves, I kind of wanted to talk about how there's not just like one type of leaf. Like I'm not a connoisseur, of leaves. Yeah.
I mean, there's the main ones. There's the ginkgo, and then there's momiji. Well, those are some of our favorite places to go and see autumn foliage. Let us know in the comments down below. Do you want us to go anywhere during autumn and see anything? Let us know, because then we can be like, oh, they really want us to go, we can go.
Yeah, TC, send us the places.
Please send us to see autumn leaves. I would love that so much.
Yeah, and should we discuss more seasons? And what kind of tips do you want to hear about? Yeah, because like I'm sure this is helpful for people planning.
That's true.
Their lives in Japan.
In Japan. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye. Autumn is a nice time.
And udon is number one.
Udon.
Ood.